Hello guys, welcome back to Some Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. We're going to take a look at Ethereum, BNB, Litecoin, Tezos, Monero, Waves, and XRP. And we're going to talk about those coins both on the macro view and the short-term view and all that good stuff, right? So let me check the chat room, to see if everything is working perfectly, right? So let me know guys if you guys can hear, right? And if the sound is good, guys, make sure to hit the likes. Also guys, we got people watching. We only got 3 likes, so make sure to hit the likes if you're bullish on, especially if you are bullish on BTC at 30k. If you think like we're gonna hit the 25k, also hit the like so I know how many people still looking for a bounce, right? So if you bearish, just let me know in the chat room. We're gonna be breaking the 25k and all that good stuff. Okay, it's even too soon to talk about 25k, right? So Lady Gaga in the house, Izmir in the house, morning Izmir, Andrew in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Andrew. So we got Pablo Escobar in the house. AG, it's been a while, man. Thanks a lot, man, for tuning in. King XRP. Jason in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Jason. So now let's dive into the analysis, right? I just made a short-term video, but I'm gonna release it later on after the live stream. So I'm just gonna recap what I talked about in that short-term video. So if you're watching later on, you can basically just catch the short-term video. That way you're not gonna worry about like watching the whole live stream and all that good stuff, right? The macro view, it is still intact, right? And the pressure, it is still on the downside. But once again, I said it multiple times, no need to be too bearish at 30k, because we got 30k macro support. The 3 weeks 21ema, we're still not breaking below it. We're still above the 3 weeks 21ema right here. So if you want to take a look at it on your weekly basis, that's your weekly 50-year EMA. But on the 3 weeks time frame, it looks better because it gives you like a multiple supports and all that good stuff. On our MACD on the 3 weeks basis, we're still not bearish. Okay, so we only bearish on the weekly basis, but on the higher time frame, we still we could still get a chance of a bull market continuation. It's not going to be easy, but it is something like we're going to be watching. If we basically cross bearish on a 3 weeks basis, that's going to give us a potential 80% chance to be in a bear market. Okay, so I would say bulls still got like, I would say like 40% chance, right, to still like continue the bull market. However, if like we cross negative right here, I think like the chance of the bulls continuing the bull market could be much much lower. Okay, it could be like a 20% or lower, right? Even if we take a look at it right here, back in 2020 right there, we did flip negative right here, 2019, right? 2019 right there, 2020 we pushed it upside, bang, capitulated all the way down to the March lows, right? So that could potentially be something like we're going to be watching over the next like a few months and all that good stuff, right? So so keep that in mind, right? Not too wrecked, only down six. Carsten say I'm not too wrecked, I'm only down 60%. Man, you're not too wrecked. 60% is not a lot. If you were around like back in 2017, you would be like 99% down, right? I mean, even if you've been holding since 2017, you're still up, okay, like a 50% on your BTC, even if you bought it at 20k. But very few people bought BTC at 20k. Okay, I would say like a lot of people bought at like 50 to 60k, right? But very few people right here. If you take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis, we only spent like what, like a one candle above above like a 15k. Okay, yes, we did spend a lot of time above like a 14k right here, but not like full body candles right there. You can see like we got 2 full body candles above 50Ks, right? Not full, but 2 body candles above 50K. while back in 2017 we didn't get any body candle above like a 15K, right? So but if you're holding for the long term, I think like you're gonna be okay. No need to be panicking and all that good stuff, because the next macro target, it is too soon to talk about the macro target to the upside. We just gotta get some reversal pattern. Right now we just focusing on supports and all that good stuff. But if you just like, not financial advice, but if you focus on the macro view, I'm telling you guys, you know, all these targets gonna be pretty cheap within the next like a few years, right? You're gonna be like, what I was thinking, okay, selling my BTC at 30K, kind of like what happened right here, right? Selling BTC at 3K, okay? It is still 10 times higher, and it is only like 2.5 years ago, okay? 2018 was right here. What was the bottom, guys? Exactly at 30K, right? 30K, 3K. Where we are right now, exactly at 30K, give or take, right? So it is 10x in less than, let's say, okay, 2.5 years. Okay, 2.5 years, you 10x your BTC. Can you imagine like where, you know, Ethereum gonna be in 2.5 years? You see what I'm saying? So Ethereum below 2000, it is still overvalued, right, compared to its like a trend line. However, if you take a look at it in terms of like a macro view, we're gonna talk about Ethereum. It is still like a very, very, very cheap compared to its like a, you know, future growth rate. You see what I'm saying? Ethereum could be around like a $20,000 in the next bull run. Okay, I would say like a 15 to 20, give or take, right? So something to keep in mind. It's not even guaranteed we're not yet. Okay, I mean it's not guaranteed like we're still in a we're not still in a bull market, so we still have to wait for a further drop to basically get a you know, 80% to 90% bear market. But I think like a 60% chance of being in a bear market is not a lot. As I said, as long as we're above this range of 30K, the bull market, it is still on. Okay, it is still on till we break below the you know 30K. You know, probably find support at 25K, where the chance of going higher going to be very, very low. If we retest the monthly 21-EMA right here, the chance of basically breaking 60K this year could be very, I wouldn't say even this year, but breaking 60K in the short term going to be very, very low, right? But the chance of bouncing back up, you know, to 50% to 0.618 going to be very high. Do you see what I'm saying? So we could, let me just repeat what I said, okay? We can still get a bounce from the monthly 21-EMA right there, okay? However, you know, it's not going to be a bull market bounce, just to be clear, okay? I'm not saying it won't, but it is likely not to be a bull market bounce. It could just be a you know, short-term bounce to 0.618, up to 0.618, or even like 0.786, depending on volatility and all that good stuff. So we're just speculating right now what type of you know, support we're gonna get and what type of bounce we're gonna get, okay? But as of now, I think like 30K, it is still holding strong, so we're just gonna stay focused right at 30K. If we break it, we got our monthly 21. That's easy, guys. Nothing else, nothing crazy. I think like try to basically analyze the macro targets on an hourly basis could get very, very confusing. You see what I'm saying? But if we just zoom out, right, and zoom out and just focus on the bigger targets, yeah, you're not gonna get too confused. Okay, you're not gonna get too confused. Okay. Do I think like we in a Wyckoff? I mean, I don't trade Wyckoff. I understand Wyckoff, but I just don't want to like start trading it like out of nowhere, right? I've been watching it, right? I talk about the fact that we could be in a Wyckoff. I don't know if you guys remember the first drop after we got the pullback in this range. I was telling you guys we could be in a Wyckoff for another what the heck, another what the heck. You know, you know, a pattern right here. Okay, so that's possible. Okay, we still gonna watch it over the next like a few days. I told you on a daily basis. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the lower degree later on, right? It is still holding strong. I like the volume, especially on the 6 hour. We're gonna take a look at it later on, but let's go back to the monthly basis, right? So monthly basis right here, we just talk about everything we needed to know regarding the monthly target monthly support 25K. Okay, and I wouldn't worry too much even if it drops lower below 25k, because that's a monthly. Okay, even if we drop lower, we're gonna get back above it. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to trade the monthly basis like you trade the hourly basis. So if you buy BTC on an hourly basis at 30k, it drops down like to 28, you're gonna be panicking. But if you just buying because you know you're buying for the monthly buy, right, monthly support, you're not gonna worry too much. Okay, if it drops like below 25k, right? As we seen it right here, right there, we did drop slightly below the monthly 21, but got back above it right around like 6k 7k right here, which was the same support area we got back in like June 2018. So that's the same support trend line. So we're not saying like 25k, because 25k is a beautiful number. No, it's not that. Okay, we calling it because it's been like a macro moving average support. Okay, and whenever we break below it, that's when we want to get very worried. Okay, because we tend to drop like more than 40 to 45% below the 25ema. Okay, 21ema. Okay, excuse me, right? So if you take a look at it right here, the first retest of the 21ema on a monthly basis was right at 5,700, right? The first retest right there was at 7,200 right here. That's where we got the 40% pump, right? So if you take a look at it in terms of drops after the first retest, right, even though we bounced back up, right, 40%, we did drop 46%, right, from the first retest, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So if we basically take a look at it in terms of in terms of basically a capitulation, right here after the first drop, we did pump nearly, right here, same thing, okay, 44%, right? But we dropped like nearly 46%. Do you see what I'm saying? The moves are not the same in terms of like timing, right? It means like when we first dropped the monthly 21, we can expect like what, 45 to 46%, right? However, if we break below it later on, I don't think that we're going to drop like 46% right after we retest the 21ema, but we can expect like later on down the road to drop like 45 to 46%, just like what happened right here, right? You can see right here we pumped like nearly 43%, but later on drop like 46% below it. Okay, right there. Okay, right there, 46, 47, give or take. So it is pretty clear. So if we're basically gonna say, we could get a potential similar structure, we could just say, okay, the first retest is our point of reference, right? 25k, assuming like we're gonna retest it like this month or next month. Okay, so if we do not retest it like within the next like couple of months, sucker could be anywhere around like right here, like 30k, we don't know. Okay, but let's just say right here 25k, we're gonna retest it within the next like a few weeks, and if we're gonna drop 46%, right, 47% after that, regardless of how high we go, remember we can still get a bounce back up 46 to 50% also, right? But later on we can still drop below the reference point 46%, right? So that's going to take us right around this range of 13.8, right there. Okay, just about like a 13.7, 13.8, and 13.7, 13.8. If we basically take a look at it in terms of weekly, remember your higher time frame, you can also correlate it to your weekly basis, right there. And let's take a look at the weekly basis. Take a look at the weekly 200ema again. So if you take a look at the weekly 200, right? So the weekly 200, it is right now it is at 13 something, okay, low 13s, right? So if we're gonna expect like a drop below the monthly 21, and we're saying like it could drop 46% below the monthly 21, that 40% that drop could coincide with our weekly 200 MA. So it is kind of like you just have to basically coordinate everything, right, and to get a bigger picture price analysis, right? So which basically it makes perfect sense, as I said, right here. You take a look at it, we did drop, you know, down to the weekly 200 MA right there. Remember the 46% we just mentioned, right? After the drop from the you know, monthly 21 EMA, 46%. That's the same level of the you know, that's the same exact you know, that basically we drop down to the weekly you know, 200 MA. Okay, and that's the same exact structure we got right there. So we could expect the same exact thing right here, but it is going to be a you know, macro sideways correction. All right, like that, and right here potentially. Okay, so we got a lot of, you know, a long way to go, a lot of price action to deal with, and all that good stuff, right? Before we talk about like 10K and all that. So if you're new to crypto, you don't want to rush these targets, because it, you know, it can take like a month to get down to the drop down to the you know, 14K, 10K area, whatever you want to call it. Okay, if you're very bearish, you could call for 10K, but if you just want to respect the 200 MA, right, and respect the monthly 21 EMA, you just stick to your you know, your macro buy supports, and basically just call it. Okay, just say you know, that's it. I'm not looking for any lower prices after that. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis now, right? So weekly basis, the thing with the weekly basis, like we're still not getting any weekly close below right here. Okay, just about like a 32K. We just dropped below 32K. On Gemini, we did retest the support right here, 28.5, 28.6. I know most people are not talking about Gemini price, you know, price range right here, but Gemini, we did retest the weekly, you know, weekly low right here, but we're not closing once again, right, below our lowest closing basis on the year, right here on the weekly basis, which is right there. Yet do this, make it okay. The blue line right here, we're not yet closing below it. Okay, which is very important, because that's where we got the bounce of at, like back in like early January. Okay, when we talk about you know, the 3 weeks close. Remember back in January we talked about like how you know, January 21st going to be very important, because that's going to be the first 3 weeks candle closing, right? So and you know, we bounce off the 3305 range, just about 305, and pump all the way up to the top right there, where we could not get a close above like a 60K range, right? So the range is clear. You know, if you want to be too bearish, you gotta, you know, you can be, but 30K it is still support as of now, till we get a clear breakout below it, down to the you know, weekly 100 EMA right here. Okay, 25K, which is basically the same thing as your monthly 21 EMA, right? So as you can see right here, we got the previous pump right there at the you know, weekly 100 EMA. Okay, even though we moved sideways for like a few weeks, you would expect like a big drop after that, but it didn't drop. Okay, it pumped, get the flat right here. That's when we said we're gonna get the big drop, right? So, but let's see what we're gonna get right here. I know bear is gonna be calling for this head and shoulder. I talked about the head and shoulder last week. I was like, okay, we can still go up to 40k, 42k before even dropping down to 30k again. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but we talked about that move, and that's exactly how it played out, right? So so now let's take a look at BTC on a daily basis. Actually, let's take a look at the 3-day time frame, right? So the 3-day basis right here, it looks pretty bearish, really. Okay, you know, we could get a very nasty drop if you know, the structure doesn't change. Okay, it means like breaking below 30k could go all the way down to like a, you know, 25k support area. Okay, so the 3-day doesn't look so healthy. It has to basically give us the U-turn, and the only way we can get a U-turn is like to get a very strong move, because as of now it is strongly you know, the momentum is strongly to the downside. Looking at the structure right here, it is one of the most bearish MACD structure when you see a U-turn like that, right? The only way to avoid it is like to get a strong move, or at least, you know, start like pushing back up above the 100 EMA and finally push back up above the 21 right? So let's take a look at the 2-day basis. 2-day basis doesn't look bad, right? It could save the 3-day, right? Because it is not crossing bearish. It is slightly bearish. Okay, I mean like slightly negative. So it could. Hey, what's up, Strengths? Thanks a lot for tuning in. I mean, some Strengths is saying like a BTC. Some analysts saying like a BTC could, you know, break 60k, go to like a $1 million and all that good stuff before going into a bear market. I mean, that's what we just said. The 30k support, as long as we can keep the 30k support, we got like 40% chance to stay in a according to my own personal opinion, right? We got 40% or higher to be in a bull market, right? As long as we can keep the 30k support, right? However, if we break below the 30k support, retesting the monthly 21 EMA, we just said it, our chance of continuing the bull market going to be lower. Could be, you know, like a 20%, right? So bear is going to be in control. Even if we're going to get another pump to the upside, that pump might not be the you know, what we're going to be looking. It might not be a bull market pump. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about it later on once we finish talking about the 2-day time frame, right? So the 2-day time frame right here, cross negative right here, but we're retesting the support. It looks pretty good. We got like over 30 hours to close the candle. So that's a good sign. And we're gonna talk about the 6-hour later on, because the 6-hour time frame is showing a good volume. So that's a good news, okay? But within the next like 48 hours, we want to avoid the negative crossover. Okay, that's it. The 2-day time frame, I talk about it, right? The first pump, you don't want to rely on it, right? That's why I said like get out at 40k, right? Because we know the first pump, the first bullish crossover, we tend to get a pump, right? We know that, right? Like what we got right here. Okay, like what we got right here. Last time we got a 40% pump, right? This time we only got a pump from you know, 30k to 40k, right? We got a 30% pump, right? From 31 to 42. Exactly, that's what we were expecting. We were saying like, you know, we're gonna buy at 30k because we could get the MACD to flip positive, but that's not going to be the bullish crossover we need. We want the second bullish crossover. It can either be a second bullish crossover, or it can just be a retest of the signal line. We don't know. Okay, so but we will see if we get a you know, a potential reversal pattern right here. So let's take a look at the daily now. So daily time frame looking negative, right, on the MACD. So that's not a good sign in terms of a daily price action, right? as you can see right here, we did get a nice push to the upside, but it wasn't a it was not a bullish divergence. Okay, price action was making high lows, MACD was making, you know, going straight to the upside, right? This time we're making like a double bottom right here. So it is a good divergence. Okay, it is a divergence right there. All right, the thing is, MACD, it is a lagging indicator, so you don't know how low it can drop. That's the thing. Okay, even though you got a clean divergence, right, you don't know the angle. That's the hardest thing with these divergences, right? Sometimes you don't know the angle. The angle could be flat like that, like where MACD gonna do something like that, right? But that could lead you know, that could lead us to a, you know, that could basically you know, keep us very, very bearish, and we're gonna be seeing like low prices. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to you know, also keep that in mind. Even though we got a bullish divergence right here, we just have to wait for a confirmation. Try to regain the daily 21. Okay, if we regain the daily 21 right here, that could give us like a higher confidence, like increase our chance up to probably like, you know, 45 to 50% of continuing the bull market. Okay, so daily time frame, we still got to regain the daily 21. All right, so bulls still, you know, losing control, even though you know, they got this potential bullish divergence, right? Gotta regain the daily 21. Let's take a look at it on the 8 to 6 hour time frame. The 8 hour. Hey, what's up, Latin? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Do I think Dogecoin will retest 25 cents or $25? 25 cents, right? So let's take a look at BTC on a 6 hour. We're gonna talk about Doge. I'll give you guys a Doge analysis on my you know, on my trading view, right? Like I think like last month, something like that. I was saying like Doge gonna drop down to like a 13 to 17 cents. I think Doge was like very high back then, right? And 13 to 17, if I remember, could be around like the monthly, not monthly, but 50-day 21ema, right? But we're gonna take a look at Doge later on, right? So remind me about Dogecoin. So the thing is, let's take a look at the 6 hour. So I'm liking the 6 hour so far, right? As you can see right here, we're getting a some volume on the 6 hour. So 6 hour time frame looking good right now. We just gotta basically stay now above like a 28.6. Okay, so 28.6 it is going to be our, you know, bull market price watch. We gotta basically stay above it. If we can stay above the 28.6 over the next like a few hours right here, even if we basically get a nasty slow bleed right here, we can still get the reversal to the upside, right? So 28.6 right now going to be the biggest price level to watch on the lower degree, as we got a big volume right here. As you can see what we got back in you know, May 19th, we basically reversed to the upside. Even though we retested it, we moved sideways. So that could basically be a good sign of a potential reversal starting on the 6 hour. Okay, not daily, but 6 hour basically going to impact the daily if the 6 hour starts to be bullish, right? So let's take a look at, I don't like to take a look at the sometime the lower degree, but hourly, we do have a bullish divergence right here on the hourly basis, right? But price action is still making a lower, you know, giving us lower prices. So it means like we either could get a rejection from the hourly 21 or the hourly 100 EMA right here. Okay, so that rejection, we don't know how low it can drop, but we can basically estimate 50% to 0.618. Let's just assume like we're gonna pump to the 100 EMA on the hourly right there, just about like a 34K, right? 0.618 going to be at 306. Okay, 306, right? So if you want to be cautious and say, hey, let's just assume like we're gonna get rejected right here, just about like a 33.2, right? Which is like the range of resistance right there. we could say, you know, 0.618 going to be at 303, 50% pullback going to be at 308. So same range. Okay, it doesn't matter if we go up to basically 34 or not. Okay, the support area 50% to 0.618 going to be right here. Okay, 31.2 down to 306. Okay, 0.786 going to be at 30k, give or take, right? So that's the range we're gonna watch, right, over the next like a few hours. If you're trading the hourly basis, that's what you need to watch before you talk about like 25k and all that good stuff. Because if we take out, once again, if we take out this range right here, 28.6, right, it is definitely going to be dropping low. Okay, it is definitely going to be dropping low. And 1.27 on the hourly basis, regardless of the macro view, right? If you just trade the hourly basis, your 1.41, 1.27 going to be at 26.8 and you know, 27.4. So 1.27 going to be 27.4, 1.28, I mean 1.41 going to be just about like 26.8 right there. If we break the 26 right here, okay, that could give us another short-term sideways correction right here and retest the hourly 21 and all that good stuff. But that's just the lower degree. It doesn't have anything to do with the macro view, right? So I think that is it for BTC. So let me take a look at some of your questions, guys. Hey man, Latin, don't tell me what I need to stop saying, man. Feel free to watch, man. It is a free analysis, so don't tell me not to say you know, okay? If you don't like it, don't watch, okay? So it is a free analysis. I'm spending my time to give you analysis, so just enjoy it, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Doge forward. I need to find a macro target for Doge. I think Poloniex, let's see. I don't think Bittrex has a long history, but 2018. Doge USD, Poloniex. Okay, so Doge USD Poloniex. Yeah, Doge, if like we're gonna be in a bear market, it has a long ride to do. Okay, right now the monthly the 50-day 21ema, it kind of shrank back down, right, a lot. Right now it is just about like 50 cents, right? Not 50 cents, but 5 cents. All the Doge Moon boy are gonna be like, man, 50 cents. So right here, as we said, what I was expecting is like, I knew we we're gonna get some sort of drop, right? Just like what we did back in 2017. So what I'm saying is like, if we continue to drop and we are assuming like BC just gonna be in a bull market, Dogecoin could basically retrace down to the 50-day 21ema right here. Okay, if you want to take a look at on a monthly, if you want to basically front run it, you could just look at the monthly 21ema at like 7.5 cents, 8 cents, right there, right? So that's going to be the monthly 21 EMA. If BTC is to retest like the monthly 21 EMA, Dogecoin will break the monthly 21ema. That's just what it is, okay? Because I don't think like Dogecoin gonna keep up its like a BTC dominance, right? You know, versus BTC. You see what I'm saying? So if BTC drops down to the monthly 21ema, Dogecoin will drop below the monthly 21, okay? Which is basically what we just saying could retest the 50-day 21 and could basically just wipe out the last 50-day cycle right here, right? Just about like 6 cents, right? 6-7 cents. All right, so keep an eye on Dogecoin macro view. I would say like a monthly 21 down to the weekly monthly 21 down to the 50-day 21, right? 5 to 7 cents range right here. Okay, if we can stay above it, we definitely got a chance to go through another bull run right here. Right, if we break below it, we just gotta suck it up, right? Look for a 50% pullback. Okay, actually 0.618. okay, 0.618 going to be right around like, oh man, penny and a half. That's a long way to go, but we're gonna talk about it later on down the road once we get the confirmation of a bear market, not right now. Okay, so I would just focus on the 382 pullback, not $3, but like 50-day 21ema / monthly 21ema, right there, and look for a bounce after that. That bounce going to define if Dogecoin going to be continuing the bull market, or if we're going to be making a three-way move down here. Okay, that's a macro analysis, so it is not like something you want to be waiting in front of the computer every hour. Okay, hey, what's up, Craig? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Man, I'm not trading Dogecoin on 4 hour. So let me see what Craig is saying. Hey, saying, Craig is saying like, should I sell my alt for BTC? I mean, it is not easy to sell out. I would just increase BTC holding, right? If let's say I was holding like 90% alt, I might go into like BTC like 60 to 70% into BTC and just wait to see what BTC gonna do. Okay, or if you think like BTC going to be bearish, you be like a 60 to 70% cash, right? That way you're gonna increase BTC holding if BTC drops lower, and at the same time you're gonna increase your alt holding if alt drops lower. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends. Some people trading because they want the fiat. Some people trading because they want like the accumulation. Like for instance, yes, you want the fiat, but like on a downtrend, you're not looking for like a fiat value. Okay, you're looking for like the number of coins, right? For instance, you're looking for like how many Ethereum you can accumulate on the downside, because it is still gonna be either moving sideways or dropping low before the next move. So you just focus on like how many ethers or how many BTC, stuff like that, right? So you have to stay very focused in that regard, because if you basically want to make like $1 and want to make at the same time accumulate more coins, you're gonna get confused. So you got to get different account, right? Unless you very disciplined and you know exactly where you are, depending on the market cycle. But on a downtrend, I would focus on like the number of coins. You see what I'm saying? And on the uptrend, you're gonna be like, okay, I got a lot of Ethereum right now. I'm just gonna focus on like price targets to the upside, right? Stuff like that, right? So it is up to you to decide, your trading style. Do you want to focus on like the number of alt, or you want to focus on like, the fiat, right? So we also got a macro lower trend line right here within the next like a few months, if we ever, you know, retest the support right here around like a 3 cents. It could basically replicate the same setup right here, okay? And that could take us something like that, could give us something like that on the macro view, where we're just gonna be moving sideways right here over the next like a few years, right? Just like what happened right here. But I'm not saying we will, but just keep that in mind, right? That way you're gonna be prepared either way it goes, right? So, but let's take a look at Doge on the 4 hour before we take a look at Ethereum. So 4 hour looks pretty nasty, so I don't see a reversal yet. Volume is showing up on a 4 hour basis, right? No sort of divergence, right? So just watch your 4 hour 21 right here, 23 cents primary resistance right there. Gotta get above the you know, 23 cents resistance right there. Right, now we below the support, so just have to be very cautious now, okay? Overall, we got back to the macro, not macro, but price range support right there. Bears could be calling for a head and shoulder pattern formation, right? The move, the entire move right here, they could call it a head and shoulder pattern formation, right? Very ugly, but you got the concept. It is like reject, you know, accumulation to the left, push to the upside, drop to the downside, accumulation on the right side. That's all it is, okay? Okay, so nasty head and shoulder, don't want to break it, okay? Don't want to break this range. I mean, if you want to be very, very accurate, you could just say we already broke the head and shoulder. You got a small one right here, right? And you also got a bigger one right here, okay? Right, so you got this one right there, and you got this big one also. Right, so it is a very bearish pattern, and we basically moving, we already brought the neckline, okay? Let's take a look at the range right here. That's 50% pullback from the previous move. 0.618 going to be right here, 13 cents. 0.786 going to be at like 8 cents. So it makes sense. Like we just talked about the 8-7 cents range on the macro view, and it is at 70, you know, 78, 0.786 right here, right? And that's the same range we just talked about on the macro view regarding the 50, you know, the 50-day 21ema and the monthly 21ema and all that good stuff, right? I think we're done with Dogecoin right now, okay? Took us 20 minutes to talk about Dogecoin. Bought more VET at 6 cents. Caught that absolute bottom of that dip. Don't call it absolute yet. Just call it the, you know, let's not call it absolute, all right? Let's just say you bought the dip, okay? That's because calling anything absolute right now could lead you to being like extremely bullish and calling for a reversal right away. And if suckers basically show up, bears show up again, you might be saying, oh, it's just temporary drop, and it could drop another 30%. You see what I'm saying? So just be cautious and be ready for both scenarios, all right? Like I said, I like the 30K support, but I also, you know, I'm also keeping an eye on the 25K, okay? So now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. It is kind of very, very complex regarding Ethereum. Ethereum is holding very strong, you know, versus the rest of the market, not just versus BTC. So I'm like, Ethereum, it is still above the weekly 100 EMA, right? I know BTC is not yet at the weekly 100 EMA, but the rest of the market, most of them, like, you know, XRP, you know, Link, right? XRP, Link, Litecoin, right? They all hit their weekly 100 EMA. But Ethereum, it is still holding. ADA, it is another exception. It is still above the, you know, just broke the weekly 211 EMAs this week. We're going to take a look at ADA also, right? I forgot to mention ADA, right? So, but it is kind of complex because breaking below the weekly 21, MACD, it is negative. That's a bearish sign. That's why in our premium we said let's get out right here, because we got out of Ethereum, right around like 2850. That's when we started shorting Ethereum down to 2110, right? Even though we hit our 2110 target, it doesn't mean like it is a reversal target. It only means like we could short it all the way down to 2110 and get out, okay? But it dropped like 40% after we got out. So that's really good, man. Increasing your Ethereum holding 40%, right? That's a lot, okay? That's a lot, right? But we're not seeing yet a reversal pattern. If we take a look at Ethereum, even though I'm saying like we got a price support at 1330, 1550, as I said, the weekly 100 EMA, if you're very patient, okay, if you want to wait for the next like a few months, you could get it at $1,000 if we're going to be in a bear market. Okay, if you're going to be in a bear market, let's say you want to wait, you don't care, right, about like how long it takes to hit the weekly 100 EMA. If like we're going to be in a bear market and BTC going to break the monthly 21, Ether will break its monthly 21. Okay, that's just easy. Okay, that's just something easy to remember. That way you're going to stay focused on the macro view and not basically rushing like every 10% pump. So you just have to, let's say, you know, you only want to accumulate Ether. You don't trade the lower degree. You're not trading the 1 hour, the 2 days time frame and all that good stuff. You want to double up your Ether or triple up your Ether. You could just wait for the weekly 100 EMA, because we talk about it right here. Get out right there, 2850 in our premium. Exactly, right? So if you want to triple up your Ether, you just have to suck it up, wait for like a 3,000. That's a lot, man. Like you know, it's like increasing your, even if you're holding on the way up, you're not increasing your Ether, you're just increasing your fiat value, right? But selling at 3K, buying back at, you know, $1,000 to $950 range, that's triple up. Okay, something to just keep in mind. That way you might be even like saying, I'm okay now, I can just go to sleep for the next like a few years for Ether to hit like, you know, a new all-time high and all that good stuff, right? But short term, like a swing trade, we're going to be looking for the 1350, right? First 1350 to 1550 price range, okay, before we talk about like the weekly 100 EMA, which is the same thing as our monthly 21 EMA, right here, right? So it could take a while to get there, but once we get there, we could, you know, expect like some big support, right? So you could be like, man, last time we hit the monthly 200 EMA right here, we did not we did not bounce. Sucker basically just dump like for another 5 months, right? Yes, you know, that's why we like to take a look at what our 3 weeks time frame. Take a look at the 3 weeks time frame right here, okay? Because the monthly 21 is right there. So if we wait for the monthly 21 and it doesn't hold, we're gonna be like, what's going on? But if we just buy the dip right here, get the bounce, sell again, even if we do not get a strong support, you know, at the monthly 21, it is still gonna be okay, because we already accumulated enough right here. Okay. We headed to 34K. Say really saying like yeah. Hey, what's up, Oliver? Pogson. Hey, I've been in crypto like since like 2017, like, you know, 4 years now, right? So Yeah, we're looking good. We just about like a 32.8 right now. Okay. All the bears gonna be panicking right now because you know we got a 10% drop, and bears love to say, oh, if we break support, we're gonna short it. I mean, I got into trouble with that move. If we break support, we're gonna short it. So I got into trouble with it a couple of times. So I just try to not to short at support at all, right? Most of the time, right? And just short the resistance, right? So that's safer. Yeah, in some case you just have to short after the after it breaks like a support, but breaking like a macro shorting like macro support is not the wisest thing. Okay, I mean I understand like if you're trading like 1 hour stuff like that, it breaks the 1 hour support. Yes, you got a good chance. You could get a continuation, but like shorting like a a weekly. A 3 weeks 21ema, monthly 21ema, stuff like that. After they broke down after the first retest, you don't want to be shorting them even if they break it, right? Yeah, sometimes you are forced to short it. You understand what I'm saying? But you just have to be cautious and know exactly what you're doing, right? So now let's move on to BNB. I like BNB macro view for the next like few years and so on, even few months, right? The weekly 100 EMA for BNB, it is going to be somewhere around here, but we're just going to focus on the 3 weeks 21 right now, just about like $200 right there. Okay, so that's going to be temporary support. If the bear market continues, right, we got the weekly 100 EMA just about like a 150. Okay, it is breaking just like Ethereum. It is holding very strong. Okay, just like Ethereum, breaking the weekly 21 right here. It doesn't want to break it, but it is breaking it right now. Okay, so we got the weekly 100 EMA over the next like a few weeks. If BTC is to retest like the monthly 21, definitely BNB could be around like $100. Okay, so BNB, once again, we talked about it when it was like $30. We said, guys, if we break the macro resistance, $30, sucker could be pumping all the way up to $600. Okay, so right now it is on the way down, so we just have to focus on the downside move, right, till we get another macro support, like a strong support at just about like a 130 150 range. If it if we get that move, right, if and only if BTC drops lower. So the weekly was already bearish right here, even though price action was above the 21 EMA. I said it on 88, right? We're gonna move on to 88 later on, right? So weekly is basically bearish, so we're just gonna focus on the downside move till we get a some sort of reversal. Okay, if we do not break the 200 target support right here, right, we could start like to look for high prices. But as of now, the momentum is down, right, on the weekly basis. Take a look at it on the 3-day. On the 3-day, we just got a support back to the 3-day 100 EMA, but price action, it is still in terms of MACD, we're still negative, right? So if we get this double bottom, we could get this 3-way move. It is still going to be a bearish setup, but we will discuss it later on, right? Okay, we could get a 3-way move like that, okay, on a 3-day basis. Okay, that's a 3-day chart. It is still going to be a strong bearish setup. Okay, if that's the case, the only way it can be a bullish setup is like we have to break after that like a $700 range. Okay, but if we push back up just to move sideways right here, it means like we're gonna get a strong downside momentum after that, right? So Now let's move on to ADA. The BTC is at support. So ADA, what we said, we talked about ADA in our premium and in our public group also. We said let's just call it what it is, right? It is a bearish divergence on our 3-day basis. So let's not try to be, be nice and saying, oh, it is still holding. Okay, it is at the top. Okay, so 382 pullback going to be right around like a 60 to 85 cents. We talked about it when sucker was like 150. Okay, it dropped already 30% since like we talked about the weekly 21ema and all that good stuff, right? So it bounced back up, but it is still negative. Price action below the 21ema. So 100 ema going to be the support right here, 85 cents give or take, right? We got the 200 ema right around like 37, but that's going to be like another target we're going to talk about later on if we do not find a strong support at 60 to 85, right? So ADA 60 to 85 since like we broke the 150. Okay, we talked about it last week, guys. We talked about it last week, so don't be surprised to see 88 right here. Can we basically reverse? Yes, we could get a reversal, but it has to convince us first. Okay, it has to basically show us a potential reversal before we basically eliminate the 21ema support right here. Okay, on a 3 weeks basis, right there. Right there. Okay, and that's the same thing as your 50 ema, your 50 ema on a weekly basis. So if you want to take a look at it in terms of like a weekly basis, that's your 50 ema right there. Okay, so it makes perfect sense, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at a link. So link already at the weekly 100 ema right there. Bounce back up right here, got this double move, now capitulating down below, now just retesting again the weekly 100 ema. As I just said, right, Ethereum is above the weekly 100 ema, ADA above the weekly 100 ema, BTC above the weekly 100 ema, but Litecoin, Link, I think Dot, I don't think Dot got 100 ema yet, but Dot is massively down too, right? So they are all retesting their weekly 100 ema. So it is a good support right here for Link. If we drop lower, we got a trend line support for Link we could rely on right here. Okay, so we got a macro trend line support started since like April 2019. We got the March 2020, so we could if we drop lower, we could just rely on this support area right here on the macro view. Okay, right there could be like a depending how fast we get to the how fast we can get to the trend line, right? But it could be anywhere around like a $8 to $12 support right here, if that's the case, right? But BTC once again will dictate the direction for most of these alt. And if you notice where the structure we got on Link right here, that's the same structure we just talked about regarding ADA, right? That's the same structure, but ADA bulls refuse to retest, the weekly 100 ema. So keep an eye on the trend line support. Primary support just about $14 to $16 right here. Secondary support just about like $8 to $12. Okay. And we could speculate like if we get a support right here, we're going to be looking for the $130, $140 target within the next like a few weeks and so on. But we have to basically keep an eye on the support area right here. So I like the Link. Let's take a look at the Link Let me see if I can find the let's do this. Let me see if I can find the link exponential trend line. So link, if we take a look at link trend line right here, you can see like to retest the support trend line, it has to travel a lot, okay? And the trend line going to be right around like $6 by July 20, 2021. So a retest of $8, which is basically what we just say, $8 to $12, could just be a retest of the macro support trend line right here, which is like the 1.5 exponential growth, okay? So I think like link, if we get it anywhere around like anything close to like a $12, even $14, it is it is extremely bullish, okay? If you're buying on the macro view, okay? That's what the exponential curve looks like, right? And the valuation right now, we just bought like not that bad, okay? The 1.5, it is just about like 200% above the trend line, okay? So it means like the trend line is right now, it moves very slow. We just bought like $5.5, $5, $6 range, okay? So so keep an eye on the link. Anything below $12, I think it is going to be pretty cheap, okay? Now let's take a look at the link. So now let's go ahead and move on to Tezos, right? But before we talk about Tezos price action, we're going to take a look at the Tezos trend line also, right? Because it is quite important, like how to understand like how undervalued, right, Tezos is. We talk about, we just talked about link not too long ago, right? And we talked about the 1.5% curve. For link, like link is way above it, right? But take a look at Tezos with its like a exponential curve right here. It is way below it, okay? Way below it, way below the curve. Like we're nearly like minus 80% down, okay? 80% down, below the curve. Okay, so right now we just about like 80% down below the curve. Let's do this. Okay, back in like March 24th, we dropped as low as 94%, right? So I think like it is very undervalued, right? When we compare it to like a Link. Okay, you take a look at Link, way above the way above the 1.5% curve. You take a look at Tezos, we way below the 1.5, and not even 1.5, but 1.3. Okay, so Tezos, keep an eye on it. I think like it is still highly undervalued, right? If you want to trade it on if you're basically speculating on Tezos on the macro view, it is highly undervalued, right? So now let's take a look at Tezos on the in terms of price action. Let's see. BTC is pumping. BTC is not pumping, man. It's just at 33. We've been in this range forever. XTZ. So that's how people get trapped. So you have to be very cautious regarding these short-term sideways correction. Wait till we get a 6-hour reversal at least before you talk about like a pumping, right? Tezos right here, we back to the support trend line on the high time frame, right? Got rejection right here, just about like $7.5, $18, $7.5, $18 Tezos, man. $8 Tezos. Okay, the good news for the bulls is like volume is decreasing at trend line support. That's why I did not bother to sell Tezos right on like a $3 and so on. Okay, it's like, okay, if I can hold it from like $8, did not sell, even though we accumulated right here. I did not sell right here because I'm still looking for higher prices. As I just showed you, Tezos versus it's like a 1.3 1.5 exponential growth, it is very undervalued. Okay, you compare it to a Link or even ADA, Litecoin, and all that good stuff, they way above their trend line, right? So Tezos at some point could get like over 3,000% above that trend line. Okay, but it could be over the next like a few years, right? So right here you can see like right there we have support, low volume at trend line support. So let's see. All right, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to break it or if we're going to break it, but if we break it right there, we could be looking for 0.618. It is going to be at 185, give or take, and 0.7 going to be just about like 50% pullback, right? I mean 0.7 going to be just about like a 150, I mean, but we're going to look for the entire range of 0.618 down to a 0.786, but primarily just about like a 0.618 at $2, right? $2 support, $2 support, primary support right here, which is just below the trend line. That could be a fake out, a wick to the downside, and reversal back to the upside, right? But next resistance is going to be right there. Okay, so we could be in this range for the next like a few months, right? So it is a it is a support. It is not a good time to be be bearish on Tezos. If you want to get rid of your Tezos, I'm not saying to get rid of your Tezos, but I'm saying like if you want to be bearish, you want to be bearish right here, okay, and expecting another drop right here. But we will see. Okay, I don't want to speculate too much on the next move. We're just going to speculate on in this range of reaccumulation. So not a good time to be bearish at all on Tezos, right? So let's go back to BTC. Willie is saying like BTC is pumping. Before we move on to Monero. Let's check the 6 hour candle, or just closed like an hour ago. Yep, got a nice volume right here. A nice volume, just like what we got back in May, right there, a month ago, excuse me. Right here, right? So we're looking really, really good right there on the 6 hour basis, right? So we're going to need the bullish crossover, and that's what we're going to need right there, okay? Yeah, we're going to need a bullish crossover at least, okay, to you know, to start to be, at least before we start to be confident about a potential pushback up. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Monero. So we talk about Monero in depth, right? If you watch my we're gonna talk about this guy later on, but let's talk about Monero first, right? Before we talk about the BTC down. So let's go back to Monero, right? So if you take a look at Monero, what we talked about last time, right? I gave you guys a price analysis on the low degree and all of that good stuff. Why Monero going to dump down, okay? Because if you remember, I was telling you like how Robert was pretty bullish on Monero right here. So, and I was like, guys, if we take a look at Monero in all angles, right, not using any of our moving averages, not volume, not anything, we can see like Monero right here was pretty ugly in terms of like a head and shoulder pattern, right? Flat correction, everything combined, right? You couldn't help it but to be bearish on Monero right there. Okay, we talk about this head and shoulder, right? You got this move, right? And we said, you know, you got this ugly head and shoulder pattern formation. On top of that, we got the flat correction right there, okay, which was basically our main pattern, not the head and shoulder, but the flat correction. And we said bull's gonna be calling it a bull flag right here, but it is not a bull flag, okay? It is not a bull flag. It got a you know, MACD is basically extremely negative right there. You know, we didn't get any sort of divergence, but MACD was pretty weak. Okay, it was pretty weak. So I was like, you know, we're likely to drop all the way down to you know, $200. We even dropped down to like a 180 target right there, beautifully, okay, beautifully, right? And that was a live analysis. Okay, we dropped 35%. So I gave you also Waves USD. That was a premium target before even the drop, right? Let's take a look at Waves. Yep, we talked about Waves right here. I was like, okay, it could still give us this flat correction right here before giving us the directional move to the downside. However, since like market is pretty bearish, bulls might not get that, you know, might not get enough time to create another reaccumulation right here, because these flat correction are just reaccumulation. Okay, sometimes like the best way to look at it is like, it is just like, so some of these coins, they pump a lot right after a big drop, but they cannot drop right back down. So what they do is like, they move sideways and wait for the rest of the market to join the party right there, right? And after they all dump together. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes that's why you see like everything dumps at the same time, right? But they don't pump at the same time. I don't know if you realize that, if you realize it or not, but most of the time they don't pump all of them at the same time, right? For instance, Wave just pumped, but when the market was moving up, right, Wave was moving sideways. Okay, but after it joined the party right there, and then rejoined the party to the downside also. So that's the best way sometimes of that's the best way to look at these sideways corrections. Sometimes you might short too early, right? For instance, another coin like Zen USDT, we started shorting Zen right there, okay, right here, okay. But take a look at it, it took like forever to get there because it needed to wait for the rest of the crypto to to be bearish for Zen to drop, okay, from like $100 all the way down to like a $50 range, okay. But the overall structure right here was a flat correction, so you knew it's gonna give us a directional move to the downside. But the timing, that's the hardest thing. But we got another one right here, and we basically said we're gonna be dropping down. Pretty clean directional move, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. BTC pumping. Darius. Yeah, I mean 30k is not a good level to be bearish, man. I mean, I think the best level to be bearish was at 40k, 50k, and so on. But 30k, yeah, 30k to 25k, it is a 20% drop, give or take, right? And a 40k to 30k is a 25% drop. So we already got the bigger drop, okay, which was like 40 to 30, okay. So that's why we got out at 40k. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. So I like XRP on a higher time frame, okay. We just hit our weekly 100 EMA right there, but in terms of Fibonacci, we just broke 382. So what we're saying is like 50 cents, right? $50 XRP, 50 cents XRP, right? It is time to pay attention to it, all the way down to like 0.618, which is just about like a 32. So mid-range 40 cents XRP going to be a good level to start like paying attention to it, right? So we also got a trend line support. If you want to basically trade it based on trend lines, right, you could basically you could basically still be looking for the same exact spot. So XRP next reaccumulation, next buy range, 50 to 40 cents right there, okay. It already hit 50, could drop down to 40, but we will see, right? So a good level to be scooping some XRP right there. Okay. I mean, I don't watch fake news, so I don't know. To be honest, guys, I spend more time like watching the charts than basically watching like YouTubers talking like fake news and all that good stuff. So some of you guys sometimes tell me about this fake news. I don't even watch this fake news, man. I've been around like since at least 2017. I mean, not at least, but since 2017, right? So I know how these news like works, okay. People have to say something. That's what you need to remember. They have to put out some contents, right? So if market is bearish, the best way to get views is like to give out like some bearish news, right? If market is bullish, the best way to get some views is like to say, oh, we're going to the moon, right? So but I try to stay with the chart and not try to stay with the news, right? If you want some news, you can definitely find a lot of channels talking about news and all that good stuff. But you can never be wrong, right? But you can never be wrong focusing on the macro view, okay? You can never be wrong. You could just get some delays in your calls, right? But you're not gonna be wrong, okay? Let's say you say, oh, weekly 21 EMA or like monthly 21 EMA, stuff like that, right? especially monthly and weekly 200 ema, stuff like that. Those you're not gonna get wrong if you buy at those, you know, price supports, regardless of how ugly, you know, the news look like. You know, you don't care, you just buy at those macro supports. Okay. So Bitcoin, it is still up 3% on a day. Hey, what's up, Cannibal Wealth? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's go ahead and take a look at VET. So VET likes to follow BTC. I don't know if you guys realize that, but VET BTC, VET USD is pretty much the same as the VET USD chart. Okay, I mean not VET USD but BTC USD chart, right? Still looking very strong. Even back in like a September when I was saying like accumulate VET, I think VET was right around like 50 sats, right? I was saying like 50 to 70 sats, you know, accumulate some VETs, right? So if you accumulated some VET back then, it was like a penny, right? Like a, you know, just about like less than a penny right there at the very bottom, guys. I was saying accumulate VET right here. We hit our 50 sats target. Okay, so and it pumped all the way up to like nearly 400 sats, right? 350, 400 sats. So in terms of dollars, that's like 30x. Okay, so and that's like we talk about it like live, guys. We talk about accumulate VET right here, accumulate VET right here. Okay, I was referring to the BTC target, BTC price target, but if you're holding the VET BTC, it's the same thing as holding VET USD, right? You know, so you should still be up on your VET like 600% if you've been accumulating right here, or even before the breakout back in January, like, you know, 2.5 cents right there, right? So, but on the macro view for VET, weekly 100 EMA just about like a 4.5 cents, right? And 382 pullback Fibonacci going to be just about like 4 cents, not sats. I gotta get the cents and the sats right, because Leroy Jenkins gonna say you know, you call in VeChain 4 sats. I'm referring to T-Dog, right? He knows. Yeah, so next support down to 4 cents right there. Okay, so the next macro support, if we're going to be in a bear market, you got to pay attention to 0.618, which is going to be at, you know, 1 cent. I'm not saying we're going to drop there. Once again, we got to get a bull market cancellation, right? And if we cancel the bull market, we're going to be like, okay, bear market continuation, 0.618, pretty reasonable. Okay, a big drop from the top, but it's okay. We've seen it before. We've seen this 95%, 98% drop. Do I see a possibility for BTC to drop below 30K again within the next like a couple of days? Yes, there is a possibility of breaking 30K. Okay, there is a possibility of breaking 30K. But we in order to basically regain control, we at least gotta regain the daily 21. If we break below the daily 21 and regain the daily 21 control of the daily 21, the possibility of dropping below 30K going to be, you know, the probability is going to be very low to drop below 30K after that, right? Not very low, but we're going to get high chance of going higher, basically, right? At what price level BTC need to start trading at to reverse the pattern? I mean, on the higher time frame, we got to break above 40K right there, right? On the higher time frame to reverse completely the pattern. On the lower degree, we got to start trading above the daily 21. We just don't know at what price level the daily 21 going to be. It could be even right here. So if we move sideways, drag down and form a low wedge pattern right here, the daily 21 could be anywhere around like 31K. We just don't know. But what we're saying is we got to regain the daily 21 at some point, regardless of where, regardless of its location. Okay, to start regaining daily, daily momentum. We just created a lower low, so it means we're gonna create another. We need to create another higher low. Even if we pump to the upside, that drop to the downside going to be our next higher low. We want to start like creating to the upside, right? Hopefully it makes sense, right? So now let's go ahead and talk about the BTC down. We talked about the BTC down on our, in one of my previous live stream. And what we were saying was like, if you guys remember regarding the BTC down, right there. So the BTC down got a nasty rejection, which is a good news, guys, regarding a potential reversal for BTC. I just explained to you guys, right, a couple days ago. I was saying like we at the support trend line right here. So we're going to be watching what? We're going to be watching our resistance level right here, right, at 6 cents, and then after that we're going to be looking for 8 cents, guys. We hit both targets, right? So in order to basically break 30K, right, BTC has to the BTC down has to break the 8 cents. Okay, as I said. And now if we take a look at it on the 6 hour, on the RSI, it looks like it wants to still go higher right here. Still want to go it seems like we could go higher, right? But since like we got the rejection, we just have to respect it and see and could expect another rejection right here. If we break it, we're going to be looking for the 15 cents right there. Okay, but in order to basically continue the upside momentum for BTC from 30K and higher, right, it has to reverse down. Okay, and could even break the support trend line right here, and that's going to be a bull market continuation for BTC. Okay, so need to watch the BTC down and how it is basically performing, right? So keep an eye on the BTC down. So the next level I'm watching right now, it is either, the next two levels. Okay, it is either a breakout above this resistance level right here, right, up to like 15 cents, or a retest of the 4 cents right here. A break below 4 cents once again gonna take us above 40K. Okay, a break above 8 cents, right, to 15 cents gonna drop BTC below basically 30K definitely. Okay, let's go back to BTC. Yeah, in terms of wave analysis, you could really look at it as a W, X, and Y correction, right? And a continuation, right? It means like, you know, after the impulsive wave, right? We got three-way move right here. 1, 2, 3, right? And we got another three-way move down. Let's see in yellow. And we got another three-way move up in green. Okay, so it is just a WXY correction. Hopefully most of you guys did not try to trade the neckline and the let's see right here. Yeah, you did get a head and shoulder pattern, but I wasn't paying attention to it because I was really paying attention to you know, a potential rejection right here. But bulls, you know, probably got in trouble calling for a you know, reversal right there automatically. But this could be an impulsive, and thus is it. Okay, just to finish up the entire correction, but we will see. I don't know why am I looking at the 3 hour. So guys, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel if you find the content useful. If you're new to Send Crypto, join the public Telegram group and all that good stuff, right? So hit the likes, guys, hit the likes. No, it's not over yet. Let's take a look at the hourly. We're back above the hourly 21, a nice divergence right here, right there. Okay, so just need to basically get a support right here if we want to keep the divergence. All right, remember, during a strong downtrend, a divergence doesn't mean like a reversal. Okay, it only means like you know, the selling pressure is getting weaker, right? But it could basically cool off right there and get stronger. Okay, that's why we've been seeing like a lot of divergences right here, right? And people are gonna get confused. Right there we got a divergence, right? We pushed it upside, still dropped down later on. Okay, so just because we got a divergence does not mean like we're going to reverse. It only means like selling pressure is cooling off. Okay, right here, right there. Okay, this one is not even a divergence, right? But we could just call it one, right? So if we get a strong rejection from the 1 hour 100 EMA right here, that could send us back down to a 30K or lower, right? We're going to be looking for the low 30K right here, which is 50% to 0.618. So you don't expect like a, that's why I don't like to expect a macro reversal on the hourly basis. Hourly basis is just hourly reversal, right? Not like macro reversal, right? Okay, you see, you got a, you just don't know how long your divergence is gonna last sometime. As you can see right here, I was expecting a potential reversal. We did get a nice divergence right there, and right here, right? And I was expecting, saying like we could look for a short at 39.4, 39.6. We did not get that move. Sucker just dumped to the downside, right? So I was like, we gotta short this alt since like we missed the BTC 39k short. So that's why I was looking for other alt that are still above the just about the 6 hour 21 range, right above. And MACDs were still above the histogram, like Monero, Waves, SXP, stuff like that, right? CRV, Tomo, and all that good stuff. We shorted all those alt, right? So talking about Waves right here, you can see like Wave, we talked about the strong momentum to the downside, right? The MACD, I saw the MACD fake out right there. I was like, okay, it's time to basically short this sucker, okay? And I showed you live, okay? That was a premium analysis also, a premium target. So if you basically short at Waves, right? Now it's 30%. Even if you didn't take the entire 30%, it is still down 20%, okay? So increasing your Waves by 20%. If you're doing it spot, if you're doing it whatever, leverage, whatever, you got way more than 20%. So guys, hit the likes, man. Hit the likes and share the content. The red line, it is the 100 EMA, and the green line, it is not green, I'm colorblind. Yellow line, it is the 21 EMA. 9 out of 10, that's the only thing I use, right? I just changed the time frame, right? Thanks a lot, Mr. Poxon. Mr. Polkadot Poxon. Hey, what's up, Mr. Darwood? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hit the likes, guys. Hit the likes, man. Hit the likes. I don't know. Yeah, BTC down could be in a potential dump very, very soon, guys. So let's see. Okay, we're in a big divergence, guys. Oh, that's nice right here. So take a look at right here. It's not confirmed yet, okay, because the MACD, it is still pointing up, right? But if we get the MACD to cross bearish, guys, right there, right, that's going to be alt season, okay? So right now we cannot say like it is a divergence because we just don't know how strong the momentum going to be, right? Because if we break the resistance level right here, it's not going to be a divergence. So we just have to watch cautiously, right, over the next like a few hours or even few days. I would say few days, right, because that's a 6 hour candle. So we're gonna need like at least few 6 hour candles to basically create a strong momentum, right? So let's just see, guys. Let's see. All right, let's see if even if we create a even if we retest the top right here, right, and still make a lower high right here, right, that's going to be a bearish divergence. Either way we look at it, right, it means we got a potential dump for BTC dominance, for the BTC dominance right here, right? It means that we got a potential dump, right? But we will see. We cannot confirm it right now, right? Yes, on the hourly, the moving averages are the same, The red line, it is the 100 EMA for BTC. I think it is at 34K. Yeah, I did close all my shorts on alt after BTC hit the low 30Ks. 31 actually last night. Could have kept them, but sometimes it is emotionally like not easy holding positions. Even if you grain, emotionally is not, yeah, it is very tough. Sometimes you're like, okay, you know, you've been shorting these suckers like, you know, for like a 25-30% drop. You're like, okay, I'm tired right now, right? Not like you're tired of making profits or something like that. You should never be tired of making good trades, but sometimes emotionally, like making decision, okay, looking at the chart, making sure everything is correct, it's not easy. Sometimes it's very, very stressful. Sometimes you just want to close up everything and just go to sleep. Even if even if you green, you're like, okay, I know they can drop low, but at the same time BTC is a support, we can still bounce back up. So I was pretty tired. I just closed those suckers and just went to sleep. But you wake up, you be like, man, I could have kept it. But sometimes you be like, you just have to make the right decision. You cannot trade like the whole market. Sometimes you just trade what you got, right? And wait for the next opportunity. But I was pretty tired, and I was like, man, not physically tired, but mentally, like, you're thinking a lot, and you be like, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys go through the same thing. Trading is not easy. I know most people want to be like a trader, but it requires a lot of discipline. You got to be disciplined now. You got to get enough discipline, right? And if not, you could be very, very tired, right? But most people don't say it, but that's the truth, right? So that's why I like to focus on the macro view most of the time, because once you focus on the macro view, you buy at macro target. You don't have to worry at least for like a 3 to 6 months before you make like another macro decision. For instance, if we retest the weekly 100 EMA, it could take like a 3 to 6 months before we break it. You see what I'm saying? You're at least gonna be, or we're retesting, like, let's say we retest like the weekly 200 EMA. It's not gonna break it like the next week. It could take another year before it breaks it, right? So yeah, let's take a look at it on the hourly. We're getting rejected again slightly. Probably can see it on the 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes you could definitely see we're not bearish yet on the 15 minutes. So if you're trading, like, let's say you're trading the 15 minutes, right, and you're looking to short this sucker right here, you don't want to short it right here based on the 15 minutes. You don't have any sort of divergence, strong divergence. Okay, yes, you got one right here, but it is at mid-range. It can still break it. Okay, you got one right here, but it is not that strong. So you just want to wait till you get a strong bearish divergence, right? Meaning like the second retest right here, right? If it, already a bearish crossover right there and a double top right there. Okay, so 15 minutes still look okay for the bulls as of now. Okay, we need to wait for this crossover, and we gotta break below the 21 EMA. So we above the 21 EMA on the 15 minutes. MACD, it is still positive, so bulls on the 15 minutes still in control till we break below the 15 minutes 21 right there. And we could be looking for a 0.618, and that's a trade I would look for right there. If we get the rejection right down to a 0.618, it is going to be nearly 5% short right there. on the high time frame, in order to get a reversal, you just have to look for the hourly. The red line, it is our 100 EMA at 34K right there. So next resistance 34K and 35.5, and support at 0.618 right there. $305, 31.2 range. Let's put this red. Let's make this red. Based on Elliott wave, this is wave 1. Wave 1 on what? 15 minutes, right? I don't know. If you just say based on Elliott wave, this is wave 1, you gotta tell me which time frame you're talking about, right? So are you talking about the 15 minutes, the 1 hour, the monthly, what? Well, what type of because in terms of Elliott wave, you can't just jump in and say wave 1. You just have to be very cautious, because just because something pumps like to the upside, doesn't mean it's wave 1. It could dump below it after. Okay, so wave 1, you just have to be very cautious trying to trade the wave 1. Okay, you want to trade wave 2. Like for instance, like if something pumped to the upside, right? You're like, okay, that's wave 1, because wave 1 are always gonna get what, 5 waves, right? And your wave number 5 gonna get what, a divergence, right? So you're gonna be like, okay, that's my wave 1. That's my wave 1 right here. Right? Doesn't matter, right? Lower degree or higher time frame. So I missed the wave 1. So I'm gonna wait for the divergence. It's gonna pull back down. Okay, and I'm gonna look for my Fibonacci's, right? I'm gonna look for 50% to 0.618. Right here. Right, so even if you miss the wave 1, it is okay, because wave 3 gonna be stronger. You're gonna get more, right, out of the wave 3, which is going to be a potential 60% higher than the wave 1, right? Which is going to be 1, 2, right? You're going to look for 1.618 extension to the upside. But sometimes it is very, very tough to wait for 1.618. You just say, okay, I'm going to take profit at 1-to-1 extension right here, right? Which is going to give you another 5-wave structure. 1, after the retest right here, right? 1, you're going to get 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? That's going to be your wave 3 right there, right? Change the wave 3 in white, right? So that's how you want to look at it. And at the same time, your wave 3, you're going to get another divergence, you know, at your wave 4, wave 3 and 5 of your wave 3, right? And you're just going to replicate the same move again, wait for retest of your wave 4 right here of your wave 3, or down to 0.618, depending on volatility and all that good stuff. Then you're going to look for your next extension to the upside of wave 5 of the entire move, right? Change that to yellow. Okay, capiche? Makes sense, right? But I can't just say this is wave 1. I can't, right? I don't know if, you know, the 28 is a bottom. I don't know if 28K was a bottom, okay, or is a bottom, right? So if we want to go back to the 15 minutes, I think you're talking about the 15 minutes, right? Yeah, if you're talking about the 15 minutes, you gotta even take a look at it on the 5 minutes to get some correct waves. Yeah, 5 minutes, right? If you want to trade the 5 minutes, you're gonna be like, okay, we're done. Okay, I'm gonna short this sucker. We got this setup right here, right? We got this move. That's a bearish divergence. You're supposed to enter the short right here. We've seen this setup like multiple times, even on waves. I think waves are 1 inch. That's the same setup we used, but that was like on the hourly. This time we're getting it what on the 5 minutes. So you're basically seeing the same setups in different time frames. Okay. So strong bearish divergence right there. So a retest of the top right here, or even 50% pullback right there, just about 33 rejection could lead us down to like a 50% pullback right here. Okay. Don't have a strong wave on the lower degree right here to count it as one, but we could count this as 1, right? 2, 3, right? 4 and 5 ending diagonal, right? If we get the rejection right here at 33 and a half, something like that, 33, 2. Let me show you 1 inch, because we took a trade on 1 inch just like that. I shorted it at 3 something. 1 inch look the same, but on the hourly, right, on 1 inch right there, when we took the short trade, 1 inch was right here. Okay, so same exact setup. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and on our 5th waves, right? Our 5th wave, we got this bearish divergence, right? So if you go back to BTC on the 5 minutes, take a look at this structure. That's the same exact structure on BTC USD on the 5 minutes. Same exact structure on the 5 minutes. Can you see it now? Same exact structure. But that's a 5 minute chart, okay? That's a 5 minute chart, so you're only trading the 5 minutes. You don't care about like the macro or anything. You're just gonna be like, okay, we got this bearish divergence right there, right? And either we can get the retest. We're breaking the 21ema, so it is going to be a good level to short and look for 50% to a 0.618 drop right here. All right, so resistance for now just about like a 32.5 up to basically 33 going to be the resistance in the 5 minutes time frame, right? So if we go on Discord, right? So that's a Discord 1 inch setup, right? Right there. Okay. Where was the initial setup? Let's take a look at. Yep, initial setup was right there. We count 5 wave ending diagonal, right? bearish divergence both on MACD and RSI. We said that's it, guys. Let's take it to the downside. You take a look at 1 inch right now. We even drop all the way down to like a 2.7, something like that, right? So let's take a look at waves. We just had a wave USDT. So wave USDT. Okay, that's a wave USDT setup, right? Right there before the break below the support line, right? Not support line, but below the right below the 6 hour 21ema. 6 hour 21ema was already 6 hour MACD was already giving us a negative momentum, so we anticipated the negative momentum all the way down to like a $12, and waves was like almost 16.5, right? So and it's like a drop down to a even below 12.6. okay, 0.618 was like 14, 0.786 13.1, 0.888 12.6. everything got respected, right? Take a look at it right here, right there. Okay, think waves Kusama was the same. We had a similar setup on Kusama. I showed you I was Kusama short-term swing short, right, when it was like a 360 right there. Okay, that's a Kusama target. It's like a bearish divergence on wave 5, right? That was kind of aggressive because we didn't get yet a crossover, but since market was consolidating at the top, we said resistance was hit right here, 530, target 400 down to a 410, and then basically 340 after that. Kusama right now dumped all the way down to like a 180. Okay, so you gotta catch the wave 5 at the top. That's the most important, wave 5, if you want to get those big moves, right? And Tomo also, let's take a look at Tomo chain. Yeah, Tomo, same thing, same exact setup. It took a while to drop, right? But that's the same exact setup. 5th wave ending. It gave me a tough time right here. I was anticipating the short right here, but had to basically flip and short it higher right there at the 5th wave. Okay. Bearish divergence. So these setups, guys, shorting at wave 5, it is always it will always give you a bigger and better return. Monero, we just talked about Monero, right? Monero was the same thing, right? So let's go back to Monero. So if you just join the live stream, show you the Monero setup for yeah, Monero 5 minutes is showing the same thing, but let's take a look at Monero on 6 hour. Right there, same thing. We didn't get like a 5th wave ending diagonal, but we did get a a flat correction right there. Let me go back to the chat room. Yeah, join the the Discord group, everything in Discord, and you know, premium information, right? Let's go back to BTC. Yeah, total dump all the way down to 125. Yeah, so sometime wave one you're gonna miss it, but you know, it is always okay to miss wave one. You just don't want to miss wave 5 if you are looking for a short, right? You want to catch either wave 2, right, for the you know, for the big swing to the upside up to wave 3, or you want to catch the wave 5 all the way down to wave 1 again. Okay, if like we're gonna get a 100% retracement, right? That's your wave 5 right here. Right, you want to catch the ending diagonal or the you know, bearish divergence, right? All the way down, even down to like a, you know, wave 1 again. Because most people get confused like about like a 5-wave structure and ABC structure. Okay, ABC means like correction. 5-wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means like impulsive. Okay, it could be an impulsive wave, you know, within a correction, right? What I mean by that, right, it could mean like when we get a, let's say we're getting a correction like that, ABC, right? You could still get a 5-wave impulsive, right? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got some impulsive waves, but these waves are just corrections. Okay, they just corrections, right? Because you're counting the overall structure, right, as a you know, as a flat correction, right? So your previous move was your impulsive. The entire move right here, it is just a correction, even though you got some 5-wave impulsive. So what you want to see is like get your ending diagonal right here. Sometimes you can get a you can get a you know, you can get a bearish divergence, right? A bearish divergence on your A and B wave. Okay, sometimes you can, right, before the big move to the downside. I'm not sure if BTC gave us a bearish divergence back then before the March dump, because we got a, you know, we got a nice ABC correction right there. Yeah, we did get one. Yeah, we did get a nice hidden bullish hidden bearish, okay, right there and right here, okay, and got a bullish divergence right there, okay. But we didn't call for the we didn't say like, you know, it is a hidden bearish divergence. We just said it was a flat correction, we're gonna anticipate a drop. You see what I'm saying? So the move right here ended with a bearish divergence, right? Right. So it could start right here with a bullish divergence, right? Right there. It could start with a bullish divergence. So that's what I'm saying. It is not a good time to be bearish. It is just a good time to be it is, you know, one of the best time to be, you know, be accumulating. Okay, so and if you notice, while we just talked about ADA, we just said it's not time to be sleeping time in Europe. Let's see. Okay, good night, Cannibal Wealth, Cannibal Crypto. Let's see. Let's see, 88. Okay, so 88, if you take a look at 88, right? Same thing on a 3-day basis. A strong bearish divergence, right? So the only thing we could get right now from 88 is like a potential, you know, hidden bullish divergence, right? Right here. Okay, that's the only thing I can expect, but yeah, it is already gone because we already broke the support range right here. So the hidden bullish divergence, right, could unless you want to draw it as flat. If you want to draw it as flat, you can still get a temporary pump. We can still get a temporary pump from 88, right? Because of the hidden bullish divergence right here, right? It could reverse, but if it gets rejected, right, it will take out very fast the 85 support. Okay, so the directional move, even if like we can get a a temporary push, that could give us a better bearish setup to the downside. Oh, we got some 88 bulls right here. Braylon. Oh gosh. Let's take a look at file. We're starting to create a potential 2-day bullish divergence on file, but we will watch it over the next like a few days. We caught the bullish divergence right back then when it was like $22 before the breakout, right? So if you caught it, congrats, right? We called this move before the pump, and we said we're going to be pumping to $200, right? So that's exactly what we did, 220. So that was a 10x move right there on file, guys. So if you've been following our analysis, you did at least get the the move up to $200. It was a nice move, man. It was quick too. Started like February and we ended like 2 months later we got our 10x move, right? So let's see if we can get some sort of a trend line from file right here. I would be watching. I'm not saying we will, but we'll watch it over the next like a few days. If that's the case, we can either get this move or even that move, right? But we will see. I'm not making that call yet. We just have to wait, right, for the next like a few days, because the momentum, it is still down. It is hard to call for a reversal right now, even though right now we at 0.618, which is a good level to be watching right there. Right there. So we have support right now, so we could get the reversal at any given time. A nice bullish divergence right there. But this guy, oh man, this guy has to stay positive. You bearish on the market, that's good, right? If you're bullish, that's good also, right? It means you're gonna be buying the dips. If you're bearish, it probably means like you're gonna be selling the tops. This was our atom play back in like December, when it was like a $4 sucker pump all the way up to you know, $30, right? So same thing, ending diagonal. So we've been seeing like these ending diagonals over the last few days. So it might be the new play, new setup to just keep an eye on over the next like a few weeks till it's no longer valid, right? Yeah, but atom we did talk about back in like December. You know, immediate support, buy at like a $4, $5. If we break out above it, it could be in the moon, it could go to the moon, right? So now we just have to stay above the trend line. Even XLM is giving us the same setup, macro support on the macro support, trend line macro support right here for XLM also, right? Take a look at XLM. Take a look at XLM. We just hit the macro trend line support right here, depending how you draw it, right? But it's almost there. Yeah, a strong bearish divergence on the higher time frame. Yeah, this move also was pretty you know, was pretty common back in 2019. I think XRP gave us the same setup back then also, right here. Right here. Okay, 45-50 cents XRP. Same setup. Alright guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. Thanks a lot for watching. Be safe out there.